What does it mean, p-value? Many students get confused when interpreting p-values. Let's clarify the issue. Professor Smith is a researcher. He just run a series of studies. Now he is taking the first look at his data and he is trying to understand what it means. First you should understand what alpha represents. Alpha is a threshold. It's the bar that we need to cross. It's a value that p-value must pass to indicate significance. This means that we will always be comparing p to alpha in every statistic. Alpha is almost always set to 0.05. But there are good reasons to move alpha either higher or lower depending on the circumstances. This is always the researcher's choice and they should decide ahead of time. Let's practice a few times to make sure that the comparison between p-value and alpha makes sense. We calculated the p-value that was 0.048. If alpha is 0.05, what do we conclude? Because p-value is less than alpha, we should conclude that there is significance. What if p-value was 0.12 and alpha was set to 0.10? Now, p is greater than alpha, which means we didn't get over the bar, we didn't cross the threshold, and p is not significant. P-value needs to get lower than alpha in order to be considered significant. As long as p-value is greater than alpha, it is not significant. Let's try a few more examples. What if p-value was 0.009 and alpha was 0.01? In this case p-value is significant because it's less than alpha. What if p-value was 0.04 and alpha was 0.01? P-value is greater than alpha, so it's not significant. What does it mean that something is significant? When we find a statistical difference, it means we have evidence that we found something. When a professor finds a significant p-value, he has a greater chance of publishing his research. He wants to find significant p-values. When p-value is not significant, it usually means that there is no difference, no effect, nothing to see here, nothing to write home about, nothing important to report. We call this the null hypothesis and it is supported when p-value is not significant. It is rejected when p-value is significant. Let's think about this in terms of Professor Smith and his happiness. If p-value was 0.01 and alpha was 0.05, this is significant. We would reject the null hypothesis. It means there is a difference or an effect. This makes Professor Smith very happy.